Happy Saturday to you all. Hey, we are here at home chilling on a rainy Kearney, Nebraska day, and I am fixing some automations. So we just had version 1.1 updated today for our Salto KS smart lock system for Nest Space. So let me give you a rundown of what we're trying to do. We ultimately we have a co-working space, right, Nest Space, and when people come in through the smart lock system, we are starting to log the data associated with that. So we know who comes in, what time of day they come in, um, what lock they go through, and then how they entered the lock itself. So we can identify which locks are being used the most in our space. We can identify who comes the earliest, um, who comes the most often, and we can start to do fun things like give rewards to people and do cool stuff like that. Gamify coming to our co-working space a bit more, which I think is really interesting. We can also do another side of things that if we know that one person's in the space, and then later on when we have occupancy sensors in place, if they key code in and it says two people are in the space, then we know that that person brought a guest or a client with them as well. So there's some cool things like that that help us automate our co-working space, keep it safe, keep others members safe, and make sure everyone's playing fair. So it's pretty cool. Here is what this automation does. So we are catching event streams from the Salto KS API. So whenever someone uses the smart lock system, it automatically sends out a message. That message is being caught by us in JSON format, and then we are parsing it, meaning we're just separating out the JSON to make it really easy to work with. We're setting some date and time variables so we don't have to guess on what time it was or what date it was, and we can use it in a couple other integrations. So when they come in, it dings, does the formatting, goes to Slack, and sends me a private message saying who came in, where they came in, what time of day, and what they used to open it, right? Then we search Airtable. Airtable is where it's our relational database. It's what we use to actually store the information. So we search Airtable for the unique Salto user ID, the trigger from the hook. And then once we have that unique user ID, we can identify if that user exists. If it does exist, if the match is found, then it uses that record that it found and then creates a lock entry. If it doesn't exist, then it searches for the contacts that don't have a Salto user ID. It searches by their first name and last name. If it finds a match, it creates the lock entry just like this one, but then it also adds the user ID to that contact so that next time when they come in, it'll run this shorter path, right? So that it'll always be searching for the Salto user ID and running through. If no match is found on the second search, it sends me in Slack and says, you have a problem. Something's broken in your system. So this is a pretty cool integration, and it ends up looking like this. So these are the lock entries. So this says the last person to come in was Chase Meyer. I opened, it was Nest Space 1, our only location right now. The lock Nest 1, which is my office. I opened it and I did it remotely. So you can see that was at 2:18 p.m. So what I can do to show you how this works is I'll just I'll make sure I save my changes. I'm going to hit run once, so it's awaiting webhooks, and I'm just going to unlock our front door. So I'm just going to unlock it via my phone app, and it takes a little bit. Oh, there you go. That's pretty instant. So it did it, right? You saw that. It caught it, separated it out, sent me a Slack message, and then searched, found me because of my user ID, and then created a lock entry. So if I go back to our database, here is what it shows. The date and time, so 2:39 Central Standard Time. Uh, I opened the front entry this time. The lock was opened and I did it with remote. So it's pretty awesome. There's a lot of really cool things we can do with that. And we have to work out some glitches that we've had along the way, but it's pretty exciting to see all this stuff take shape. Very cool. Well, let me know if you have any questions, if you want to um, get a full in-depth how-to tutorial with how we did this using the specific code um, in the automation services, as well as we use a server called glitch.com to be able to process the Salto KS event streams. Just holler at me. Let me know. Or just go ahead and subscribe to the premium Patreon account, and we would be happy to make a video for you. Thanks so much.